Would you like us to take out the cartels? No, 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 Mr. President. No, 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 please. So we have to do something because we lost. The real number is 300,000 people, in my opinion. You know, they like to say 100,000. 100,000 is a lot of people, but the real number is 300,000 people. And we lost it to drugs, and they come in through the southern border, mostly the southern border. Plenty come in through Canada, too, by the way, in case you don't know. But they come in through the southern border, and something's going to have to be done with Mexico.
Why did you decide to do this morning?
Are you talking about calling you people or the shot?
No, taking out
I'm not sure.
Maduro.
I'm not sure which is worse. If you want to know the truth, I'm calling you. I haven't spoken to anybody else because Charlie Hurd has been a great friend of mine for a long time. He was with me.
Now, this was from earlier today when they called Fox News and just did a quick brief of it. And, of course, I couldn't go live that fast after I was sitting there watching it when he came on. But we're going to hear from him live here shortly. Hopefully, it'll be coming on here. What time is it here? Where's my clock at? Jeez, Pete, I got to look all over the place. We got about 20 minutes, so we're going to be going live here as soon as he comes on, and we'll be getting it all right up in person. All right, what else we got here? Now, of course, the Republicans line up behind Trump after U.S. strikes on Venezuela and Maduro's arrest. Changed the course of history. Everybody's saying that. I don't know about the fake news media, ABC, CNN, all those fake news media, but you know they're going to be saying something negative about all this. This is what we're going to hear for the next week. Because now we got countries crying, we got Democrats crying like they always do. And they're going to try to twist it. But you guys know it for a fact, Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution allows Trump to do this because we have heard this already. A minute, listen to this here. But we got one Democrat. You're going to be shocked. One Democrat, House Democrat, calls Trump's Maduro capture welcome news. Oh, yeah. As the left accuses him of illegal actions already because they're crybabies. Now, get this one. Let me find out where she's at. Get this off of here. Pop-ups come up all the time. Now, at least one Democrat is praising Trump of the capture of Maduro. The capture of a brutal, illegitimate ruler of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, who oppressed Venezuela's people, in welcome news for my friends and neighbors who fled his violent lawlessness and disastrous rule. However, cutting off the head of the snake is fruitless if it just regrows. And this is Democrat Debbie Wasserman Schultz of Florida. Yes, I'm surprised as all get out too, right? But Venezuela deserves the promise of democracy and the rule of law, not a state of endless violence and spiraling disorder. And here you see on the picture right here that the people of Venezuela are happy as all get out. Now, but she criticizes the GOP administration for apparently failing to notify Congress beforehand, however. I'll demand answers as to why Congress and the American people were bypassed. She wants to throw in the American people. No, this is the way it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to share it with thousands and millions of people before you do something like that to take down an illegal regime. Period. This is the crying that you're going to hear from the Democrats. And she has to throw in American people to make it sound like, yeah, we should have been notified too. No, we shouldn't have. This is the way it's supposed to be done. Not when you're Biden or the Democrats and want to tell the world what we're going to do. So there's no surprise there, right? The absence of congressional involvement prior to this action risked the continuation of illegitimate Venezuelan regime. No, it doesn't. Congress must be properly informed and hold hearings of this invasion. As always, I will work to bring about the promise of a liberated Venezuela, she wrote. Really? This is a joke. She praises them for the people around her, I'm guessing her constituents. And this is ridiculous. Wasserman Schultz, home of the state of Florida, notably home of the significant number of Venezuelan refugees, and as well as refugees from the communist Latin America dictatorship like Cuba. Don't worry, Cuba, we'll be coming for you too. Anyone, and this is going to be a notice to all the countries like this, You do not FA and FO around with the United States. Period. End of story. You do it, and you will meet the same fate. This is what we got to do with all the illegal criminals that are out here that have been allowed in by the Democrats into this country, because that's why all this is going on. They opened the borders up to all the Venezuelan criminal and mental people from Venezuela. And it's a fact that he did it because he admitted to it. But then you got the brain dead Democrat and liberals out there that don't want to believe facts when it comes to them. So that's why I do my show, because we try to bring the facts to people so they actually see the truth of what's been happening around here. Oh, yeah. So the last thing what he got as far as the articles goes, yeah, there's about the headed to the ship. Is Trump to the Democrat critics of capturing Maduro in Venezuela. All they do is complain. Yes, President Trump, let me get rid of that, brushed off Democrats who are arguing that the lack of authority to conduct the strikes in Venezuela that led to the capturing of the country's dictator. It was really genius. What they did is genius. The Democrats, you know, and I guess this is from Trump, they'll take a shot. All they do is complain. They don't talk about it. They should say, you know what? If we did a great job, we're stopping drugs from coming into our country, saving American lives. They don't say that. If we did it, we're stopping the drug. Okay. And nobody's been able to do it until we came along. But they should say, great job. But they don't. This is what he said earlier when you saw him speaking on the phone to them. And they don't. This is all they do. Every time Trump does something good, what do? They complain. That's all they do. Every time you turn around, that's what they complain about. So it's really sad when Democrats can't do anything. Let's see if they're talking again here or not.
Last night, the courage they had going into an area where, you know, all the lights were turned on. We turned off almost all of the lights in Caracas.
Remember, this is from earlier.
So organized, and they go into a dark space with machine guns facing them all over the place. And then you hear from a guy that I'd never even heard of him, but you hear from.
All right. So again, those were some of the comments that we did receive from President Trump as he spoke over the phone with folks there at Fox News. That was just a couple hours ago. Now, I do want to remind you, coming up here in just a matter of moments, we expect that President Trump will address the nation on all of this coming in from Mar-a-Lago. We should be getting a live image as that is set to take place here at about 11 a.m. Eastern time.
Okay. Now, yep. And we knew this was going on. Now, got a guy from William Lockett over here, and it says exactly what it should say right here. We knew this thing with Maduro was going to come to a head eventually. Currently, we wanted him too bad for him to stay in power. I think it's more regime change since we already know who we want to replace him, but hopefully she's legit Venezuelan who cares about Venezuela. Exactly right, William. And this has been going on for a while. And Trump gave Maduro ample opportunity to step down and do it on his own. Well, he chose the hard way, and he didn't listen at all, and he should have listened. And that's what keeps going on around and everything. And people, all you want to see is crying Democrats like this. Let me see if I can put this up and get you some more of the Democrats' response to this. This is so pathetic, it's unreal. Let me find out here. I have to put another screen up so I can see. Oops, gotta spell the words right. They always want to complain every time you turn around. So I'm not going to have a problem with any of it, trying to find articles. Of course, Trump faces criticism from Democrats over Maduro capture. Surprise, surprise. What did he say? Senator Tim Kaine, a Democrat of Virginia, said in a statement Sunday he'd voice a vote next week on bipartisan resolution stipulating that U.S. should not be at war. Oh, come on. What are you doing here? Yep, that's what is it? We're not at war with anyone, you dumbass. But that's one of them. Let's see. Let's go back here. Democrat Wasserman. I just told you about that. Oh yeah, MSN. This is a great one. I love watching these idiots. Democrats declare Trump's capture of Maduro illegal despite the past presidents' similar actions. Oh yeah. Let's see. Second, unjustified war in my lifetime. Yeah, but it's not a war. We're not in war with Venezuela. This is coming from Jim McGovern, the Democrat of Massachusetts. Well, go figure that one. But he doesn't mention all the other presidents that have done this same thing when they took over. What was it? Iran, I think they did. Who else was the regime that they took over? And I cannot remember right now. The regime has also allied itself with American enemies: Iran, China, Russia, Cuba, Hezbollah, and Hamas. Well, this is going to wake them up, isn't it? It's going to wake them up and tell them, don't mess around with the United States. It's as simple as that. Exactly, William. He kept pushing. He kept throwing those boats at us. And will those boats continue? Will the strikes continue on these drug cartel boats? Most definitely will. And you got Democrats on X this morning running their mouth. Trump captured Maduro because of oil. It wasn't because of the oil. He wanted to steal oil. That's what they said. He wanted to steal oil. No, that's not a fact. Trump warned him about all these drug cartel boats that he was shipping over there. And I showed you on past shows of mine how many people or how many boats that he had lined up waiting to come in there. I mean, tons of them he had lined up waiting to load them up to come to get them over here. I don't know if I could find that or not. But I made so many comments, but William's right. He just kept pushing, so we broke his arms. Yep. Oh yeah, that's a good one right there. I don't want to do two screenshots. I don't think I can do that. Let me see if I can do that or not. Let me do. Oh, nope, I can't do two share screens. Nope, I can't do that. I can try. Can only share one screen at a time. But they got Maduro in handcuffs. But that's not the one. That looks like an AI one of it. Because when the one I saw earlier, he had blood on his shirt, and they didn't show his wife. So let me see if I got my notifications up here. What time is it, anyways? Now we got about 8 minutes. So let me find my replies. Where's my notification? Nope, I got to go to me. Nope, that's not me. I know I made some comments about this stuff because people were idiots and want to run their mouth like that. Where the hell did it go? That's not it. That might have been it, so I don't know. But anyways, yes, the Democrats are crying, whining, and everything like they do best about everything that's going on. You guys got any comments or anything else that I have not discussed yet? Maybe let me know. There's got to be a lot of stuff going on. You saw that there. We're going to see about. I'll keep looking while we're waiting for Trump to come on here, and let's see what I did with that one. That doesn't come up when I do that. Yep, we're going to see what's going on here, but this is going to change the world. It's going to wake these other countries up to let them know, don't try to mess with this country. Trump is trying to save it. Oh, what do we got here? Here, we got to read this one. Adam, the bug-eyed shitty ship. Nicolas Maduro was a thug and an illegitimate leader of Venezuela, terrorizing and oppressing its people for far too long. Ooh, let me do this. For far too long and forcing many to leave the country. But starting a war to remove Maduro doesn't just continue Trump's trampling of the Constitution, which it's not, and it's not a war. See how these Democrats want to feed bullshit out? It further erodes America's standing on the world stage. No, it actually brings us up even more. If we can get any higher, we are now like what? Respected like hell on the world stage because of Trump instead of the joke of Biden. Oh, suntanning his raisins on the beach somewhere who was never in office. I don't think Trump ever leaves the office. America stand on the world stage, and it risks the adversaries mirroring the brazen illegal escalation. Get the hell out of there. There's nobody, no other country, not China or Russia, is going to do anything and try to come into this country and try to do anything. This is what you get from pathetic Democrats like this, lying to the American people. For what? It's for votes and power. They think they're going to do it. They don't tell you the fact. They tell you what they want you to hear. And none of it is a fact. And I told you, Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution allows Trump to do this, just like other people have done, other presidents have done in the past to topple regimes. And this is the patheticness of this. Oh, what's this? Let me see. Acting without Congress approval or the buy-in of the public, Trump risks plunging in a hemisphere into chaos and has broken his promise to end wars instead of starting them. He never started a war. This is so pathetic. This is the Democrats' patheticness, telling them that he started a war. He didn't start no war. If we started a war in Venezuela, we could wipe the whole country out in a heartbeat. It's a country of 30 million people. That's it. And we could wipe that whole country out. The only bombing that took effect was to protect the people on the ground that was serving the warrant against Maduro. That was it. You saw earlier on here where the people were partying and loving and cheering and everything. And they are all going to be watching Trump address the world, not the nation, or the world, because the world is watching this. And they are finding out that Trump is not a man to be dealt with. And they thought he was tough before. Now this is even better yet. So we're going to keep going, guys. We're going to get more people in here to watch the live reaction. Yes, he is going to be talking from Mar-a-Lago. And I wish my ass was down there right now. That looks so warm right now. It is 16 degrees here where I live. You got you 1-6. You heard me right. It is freaking cold. But you got more pathetic Democrats. Let's see if I can fit somewhere else here. Let's see what we got. Maduro special. Oh shit! I can't show you this. Let me do this real quick. Oop. I can do it over here. I got to get this. This has got to be funny as all get out. Oops. I want to show you that one. Where's it at? I'll get you this here real quick, guys. This has got to be funny. It looks funny already. And let me find it. Where's it at? Yeah. Let it download here real quick, and I've got to show you this. This is going to be funny. I know it for a fact. We still got time. What time is it? Yeah, we got 3 minutes. So, all right. This is Maduro's special forces preparing to defend against the U.S. attack. Take a look. Oh my God. That is funny right there. That is freaking great. Gotta love that, right? I'm gonna save that one too for Monday. That was great. So we'll be sitting here soon. He should be coming on here, guys. So just thought that just popped up on here. I had to put that up here. What is this for Uncle Donald Trump? Thank you, Uncle. Thank you, Uncle, says a Venezuelan influencer celebrating Maduro's capture. Like I told you guys, all you got to do is watch some of these. Yes, you do got to watch for AI stuff and make sure that people aren't making stuff up. but some of this stuff's funny. But you saw it live that Fox just had on here a little bit ago. The Venezuelan people were cheering and loving this. Why wouldn't you? You had a dictator like them worried more about him and his money and getting drugs over here to kill American people that they've done for years now because of these Democrats and the Biden regime. You know, weekend at Biden's would prop him up and just use him as a figurehead. And definitely he was pathetic. So there's so much, guys. I'm telling you what. So we should be hearing from him soon. Doesn't that look inviting, though? Mar-a-Lago right there, and the palm trees and the sun shining. It's not doing too much of that here. After I'm done here with this live stream, I got to go let my chickens out. So they can get out, but it's too cold for them out there right now. I want them things laying eggs, and they don't lay eggs. And if they're cold, they're going to lay me ice cubes. But we don't want that, guys. So, all right, let's see where we're going to be getting something here, hopefully real shortly, because we're at 11 o'clock. Do they ever start on time? I don't think so. What is this? Look at that. People are loving this up, man. They are going to be free now after you get rid of the Biden regime. People are loving it like crazy here. Let's see what they're saying while we're waiting.
U.S., and this is based on really your expertise. I'm not sure if you'll have the full answer, but would the U.S. play any sort of role in any of that?
Just clarification, Josh, are you talking about the legally elected regime that's been kind of in exile for a while? Or are you talking about how this new cabal is really taking over after Maduro left?
I'm going to say both. I want to get your take on both of those.
Okay. All right. First off, I think you are going to see.
Let me get my mic back on here. They're just talking speculation and stuff here. So we're going to wait for Trump to come out and see that. World news. See, I cannot do two screen shares at the same time. Let's see what we got here. Let me copy this link. Bring you another video, and it shows the celebration that Venezuela is doing. Yeah, come on. Where you at? All right. I'll show you another one of the celebrations. Supposedly, this is them celebrating a historic celebration in Venezuela. And then we'll see if we can see Trump. Take a look at this. That's not happy people, don't you think? No? Yeah, I think they are happy. Oh, yes. This one I can't read, but it looks like they're... Yes, loud. Now, you probably didn't hear that one, but I was looking at more stuff that people were posting. But like I said, you got to watch, because AI is so rampant that people make up shit. And well, I just found another one. That's just wrong. This might win the internet today. Okay, I gotta do this. You gotta watch this one before Trump comes on here. It won't let me download it. And like I said, I can't do two screens shared, but we should be getting on here pretty soon. Yep, they stopped. Can't do it. I cannot do two screen shares at once to show you that one too. That looked pretty funny. Somebody put Maduro in. That's an ass load of people, isn't it, William? That is a lot of people, and I think they're happy. Like I said, Venezuela is only 30 million big, so that is. But they're all happy today, as long as the whole corrupt regime is out of there. They have been illegitimate for years now, and they should not have been even running that country. And Trump asking nicely, just step down and put the legitimate people in there, and he refused to. And then he would, because why? Because of the money. He is money hungry, power hungry, just like these dumbass Democrats. Hey, Texas John. And that's what this is all about. It's about money and power. And this is what the Democrats want to see. That McDummy in New York, socialism, that you want to see this? This is what you're going to see. Well, they're showing the podium now. You'll see just popped up there, and we'll see if he must be coming on here pretty soon. So I will not talk during Trump's speech. Well, we'll come back afterwards and we'll talk about what he has to say. And we'll see what's going to happen here shortly. And let me see what they're saying here. I'm going to take the turn the volume on now.
Walk in here in just a matter of moments to address the nation on this Venezuela operation, the capture of Maduro and his wife. We're going to bring you those remarks in full the second that we do get them.
I hope so.
We're looking at
That's
all
what
of
we're
this,
here
kind of
for.
Gathering the latest information that is coming
watching
into
it on
our
this screen.
newsroom. Mark, anything that you think we missed? Anything you want to make sure to add here before I let you go?
Okay, we're not going to sit there and listen to them speculate about stuff that's going on. We want the real version. Yeah, 30 million is like the size of New York City. So, Lockett's right. Look, that's not very big at all. But the people deserve to be free like we are. And that's why we got to stop all this socialism bullshit that's going on in New York. Oh, man. Monday on the weekend wrap-up, guys. You got to want to join me at 9 p.m. because McDummy has already signed 5 executive orders. And one of them was a executive order by, doggone it, the last mayor, and I'm having a brain fart right now, but of stopping this anti-Semitism stuff. And McDummy signed off and reversed that and allowing the Semitism and going after Jews and stuff like that. Oh, yeah, this is the start. This is just the start of the downfall of New York. Stick with me, guys. We will follow this story because McDummy's going to have to be forced out as mayor, too. It's not going to be a pretty sight for New York, guys. But today we're going to focus on what's going on here and with Venezuela. But we are going to get into that on Monday, on the weekend wrap-up at 9 p.m. on the Conservative Viewpoint. So don't miss it. Well, not New York City. They got 8 million. Let's see what Tokyo has 30 million. That's still not big. Tokyo's not that big either. Those executive orders are weird because 3 of them are about turning New York City into an HOA. Yeah, exactly. Because the one of them that I saw that he's going to tell the landlords of buildings that they're not allowed to raise rent. When prices go up because of these Democrats, he's telling them, no, we're freezing rent. This is a start of dictatorship right there. That is the fact. 69 and sunny. Man, Texas John got 70 degrees. Man, shut up, Texas John. Man, he teasing now. I got 16 degrees here. I think it's still 16. Let me see. It might have went up a degree. Whoop. Let's see. Get off of there. Oh, it's 23. I'm sorry. It's 23 now. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. I got text on here that won't get off. And how far away from Morgantown? That's our truck driver buddy, Gregory Allen Corns Jr. He just texted me. He must be near where I live. But yes, McDummy in New York, it's out of control already, and he just took over. Oh, yeah. So we're going to be watching this really close, guys. So let's see. We're showing the podium. I like the podium. Now let's see Trump. That's what I want to see. Listen to this, what William Lockett's giving me over here. He didn't even take any legal action with them. Just use an executive order to set up investigation committees rather than just set up committees regularly, which is right as a mayor. I believe the executive order use was just so he could boost his stats. I guarantee that's exactly what it was, William, because it's going to go to court, and these landlords are going to win. Somebody telling them what they can do with their private businesses. An apartment complex is not controlled by the government. They are controlled by the person that owns it. You cannot tell them they can't raise rent and stuff when everything goes up, like the electric bill because of the Democrats, food bills because of the Democrats. Everything goes up because of these last 4 years, or let's say 5 years now, because we're almost a year into Trump. Because of them Democrats and the Biden regime, everything has went through the roof. Yes, Trump's brought them down a little bit, but not enough yet. So this is what's got to happen. And I mean, New York is about, y'all ever watch Escape from New York? That's what it's going to be like under this jihadist Muslim. Oh, yeah, that's a fact too, guys. So, hey, guys, make sure you share this video right now to people and get them in here and watch this. And let's take a listen of what's going on, because this is going to change the world, not just for us, for everyone, because Nicolas Maduro was a threat to the world. And this is what Trump's trying to stop. Advance of Maduro capture. The president offered multiple off-ramps, but was very clear throughout the process the drug trafficking must stop and the stolen oil must be returned to the United States. Maduro is the newest person to find out that President Trump means what he says. Exactly right. He did warn Maduro, because Maduro and them confiscated many of our oil tankers. Oh, yeah, and stole it. Oh, yeah. So all this has been going on, and this is what he was warned about. He had ample opportunity to go out peacefully, and now he's going to face federal courts, which I hope you have the right judge and not these activist judges in here. They need to go into a military tribunal is what they need to do, and hold this bitch or hold him accountable for his actions. And I hope the DOJ does the same to these Democrats that have been using the courts to weaponize it against political opponents like Trump and everybody else. That's what she needs to do. When she got off her ass and did this, why can't she do it with the Democrats and everybody else that have been doing illegal activity in this country the past 4.5, almost 5 years now? I guess it would be 5 years come the end of January. So why doesn't she do that? This Republican Party with Comer and what's his face? What the hell? Hey, look at that. We got a good view of that behind the scenes right there. That looks like my studio. Not as nice, though. But he got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 screens, too. That's what I got. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5 screens. I like that. I'm trying to go make a new studio here soon, hopefully. We'll see if it comes up. But it probably won't be for a few months yet. But I'm going to try to get a new studio and get me some new stuff and cut this down to one big screen. I'm going to try to get a 55 or a 65-inch screen that I can run everything on one screen. Because right now, yeah, I'm running one over here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, actually 7. I've got 2 computers running and all these screens and a TV over here. I got a lot of stuff going on, guys, but we're going to get to this hopefully in a second. He should be coming on. What are we at now? 12 after. They never start on time. But they got a lot of information. They said that Hegseth's going to be there and a few other people to talk about this operation. We know Secretary of State Marco Rubio is going to be there. And, of course, the one, the only President Trump. Oh, yes, guys. So if you got anything else, hey, Lee. What's up, Lee? Lee, what up? Becky, morning, everyone. We're not into the afternoon yet, so good morning and welcome to the special edition of the Conservative Viewpoint, everyone. So we got a lot going on here with what's going on. Start early this morning with Maduro's capture. And we're going to be hearing directly, hopefully, from President Trump and everyone else on what went on here. John M., what's up in it? It's a little light today, Texas John, right? Thought more people would be on being a Saturday morning. And maybe people hung over or something. Yes. So we'll have to wait to see more of them, Texas John. being Saturday, or maybe some people were working. But I know we have a lot of people from Arizona and Texas and everybody that joins us on Getter. And we usually have 3,000 roughly on over there. So it's going to be slow but surely coming up here, but we'll see what's going on. Oh, nope. I got some new stuff. If you guys saw my opening monologue, or I didn't do a monologue, but my opening video, I did those. We got some new, you see up in my top corner there, you see my streaming stuff here. I'll show you. I got another one here somewhere. Where'd it go? Here's my new streaming logos and stuff right here. Look at this real quick. There you go. All my streaming platforms that I stream to. If you haven't been on one, you can't see it up in the right-hand corner or left-hand corner, whatever it is for you. Go to one of those guys, sign up, follow me, share everything that you can, and join me weeknights at 9 p.m. for the show. If you need to see it again, let me know in the comments section, and I will put it back up again. I haven't put I don't have it in my, what the hell is it called? My banner anymore. I didn't do that now because my banner just says this. Gives you the email. If you have anything, conservativeviewpoint@yahoo.com. If you have any pictures or any comments or questions or anything, don't feel free to give me an email, shout out, and I'll answer you back as soon as I get them. So you'll see there, I don't want anything interfering with Trump, so I won't turn it on. But if you guys need the email address again, let me know, and I'll put it back up in comments. Let me put my comments back up here so I can see Becky and William and John and Lee and all them guys over there in Facebook. Guys, if you haven't, go ahead, follow, give me friends on Facebook there, and so you can watch the show, get the facts, not the stuff you get from the fake news media or anything like that. There they are right there. See the fake news media right there? Yeah, that's pretty much all of them. Yep, pretty much all of them. Not all of them. Still have some good ones left. Some good ones. And you can talk about fake Fox News or Newsmax, OAN. A lot of them are good, but it's certain journalists, so-called journalists in there that suck. So they are part fake news. Not the whole news agency, but some of them are pretty bad. So we don't base it off of that. Like, look at CNN. Oh yeah, we got one that's good in there, huh? Trust me, if I forgot his name, but we follow him all the time. So we like him because he does a lot of stuff. I don't think I have any of his videos in here. I think I deleted them all. Yeah, come on in there. Nope, I got rid of them all. But you got to join me Monday, guys. Anderson Cooper and his whoever it was with him New Year's Day. I got videos on that. You guys are not going to want to miss that. That is an embarrassment. They were drunken pigs. They should be removed from the air. Wait until you see. I got 2 videos on that. Oh, yeah. Come Monday for the weekend wrap-up, guys. You guys got to want to see that. That's going to be a blast right there. Let me give some comments over here. They keep doing that. They keep breaking news, and then nobody comes to the podium yet, but we want to get them. Hey, Fixer, what's happening, man? Now, I would have been streaming on Wimpkin, but some issues are coming up right now. They're supposedly working on the live stream, so nothing's working over there. We get a lot of excuses with that, but you can't stream live right now, so we'll see what's going on. After that, we'll be on a couple days next week if they get it upgraded. We've been promised this for a long time. I don't know if it's actually happening or if we're just being fed lies again, but we'll see come Monday. If not, I will be on all the other streaming platforms. We got Facebook, we got YouTube, we got Twitch, we got X, we got Rumble, and we've got Kick. Trying to build more people up on Kick. Kick's something that a lot of people know. Rumble's iffy on some people that know. I don't even have Rumble up, do I? Yes, I have Rumble over here. And I have it, I usually have it on this screen, but I'm sharing this screen right now, so it's kind of different for me to look around and find it. I use my news articles over here, but I'm done with the news articles for now. So, but I can see the comments. Everybody that comments, you can comment from Facebook. YouTube will come up, and I'll have to talk. And I think YouTube I can type to on here. Kick I can type to. Twitch I can type to. But like Facebook, I have to open another screen for them and everything, guys. So it's kind of tough to do that. So we got to build up Rumble, because here come May next year, my subscription runs out on StreamYard, which I cannot afford to pay almost $1,000 to keep using StreamYard. Doesn't work that way. Even when they give me a discount, it's still almost $500, and I can't do that. So I'm going to be switching straight over exclusively to Rumbles and their streaming platform. So that'll be happening in May once this runs out. So a lot of stuff going to be changing here, guys, and hopefully I got a new background coming. Hopefully it's going to work. Hopefully I get it before Monday's show. But then I have another one coming after that, which I'm going to try out a couple different ones. I'm going to get your opinions for my backgrounds and get your opinions on which one you like better. And, oh, yes, another commercial. Let's see here. Skip. All right. So hopefully it'll be coming on here shortly. And I cannot see how many people are actually watching on Getter. They don't show the count of people. Now I get Twitch or X down there, and that's it. I can't see anybody else's. I can see Rumbles because I have a separate window up for Rumble over here. But I want them all so I can see how many people we got in there. And so who we got to work more on. We got to get working on X. We got to definitely get Rumble. Rumble is a hard place to get people to view. There's a lot of people on there, of course, probably streaming the same thing that I'm streaming to. So it's weak over here in Getter right now. Still 440 according to Texas John. Usually I'm up into the 1,000 range. That's really hard to believe on a Saturday. People must be having great weather somewhere, because it sure to hell ain't here. And I know Texas John. I don't want to hear it, Texas John. He's up probably 70 degrees already. And that's why I said when we were looking at Mar-a-Lago, the picture from far, oh my God, it looks so nice there. I could be suntanning my raisins too if I was there. That would be freaking awesome. But nope, here in the cold, chilling. I walked out to my mailbox with no jacket on. Man, that was stupid. I about froze to death. So are we coming or what? Let me put the volume on real quick.
That we have that for you in full the second it does begin. What I want to do, if possible, is go through some of the posts here.
Yeah, see, they just talking. I want to hear what Trump has to say about this. Where are we at? We're at 11:21. See, an hour past. I thought from 10:30 to 11 would be easy, no problem. We'll get through some articles and stuff, and Trump will come on and talk, and we'd be done. But no, that's not happening. So we're going to wait here and see what's going to happen here real shortly. I keep looking around to all my screens, making sure I catch everybody's comments. Fixer says, weather is dreary in Tennessee. What's the temperature over there, Fix? Oh, I'm on the wrong screen here. He probably heard me before I even type it. Like waiting on doctor's appointment. Yeah, exactly right, Fix. You go to a doctor's appointment, they tell you be here 12:15. They'll get you in at 2:15. It's like never warm. Just went to flip-flop mode. See that? He's teasing me. Texas John teasing me. He just went to flip-flop mode. I can't do flip-flops until I could do it, but my damn toes would probably fall off from the cold. And like I said, I'm going down and dude, that's already deleted my live that I did on the first. The platform it is, William. But William, they did say that the streams would come back after the update is done. That's what the thing says on the top. I don't know. I don't believe it. We've been heard 38 drizzle and fog. That's in Tennessee. They're at least warmer than we are, but they're getting drizzle and fog right now over there in Tennessee, down there in Tennessee for me anyways. So right now I take that because I don't think I went up. Let me see. Let me see if we went up any. Oops. Oh, wow. I got a lot of stuff on here. Let's see if it went up. It says it feels like 28. That's bullshit. How can you be 23 in the wintertime and it feels like 28? That's a lie. If the sun's out, I can't see the sun from down here, but that's a lie. All right, let me go down through here and see what we got. I posted a lot of stuff on X this morning about this. Then decided to go live. I was down here revamping stuff for a new conservative viewpoint look for the 2026 year. So you guys got to catch that on Monday for the weekend wrap up. I got a new weekend wrap up uh, thumbnail, so I'll be showing that come Monday. I haven't done no videos or anything. I haven't done an advertisement for Monday yet. That's for Newsmax on there. Guys, don't forget you can email me at conservativeviewpoint@yahoo.com for anything. If you got any suggestions about my show, I love suggestions. If you got anything you want me to show, like pictures or videos or anything funny videos, because we like to have fun on the conservative viewpoint. It's not all about seriousness or anything like that. We want to be. We have to have some fun with the world going crazy as it is, with all the nutcases in this country. You guys got to have some fun. So we try to mix a little bit of fun and a little bit of seriousness in there, guys. So don't miss it. You'll have a blast. Let's see if we got more articles. Newsmax.net wrote they're talking about Trump coming on here at 11 o'clock, which is now 11:25, and we're starting out there. 16 predictions of 2026. Don't listen to Politico, actually named for bullshitico. They suck. Beer pong. That is a good time to do that right now when it's cold out there. Picture. What else we got? Good. Nope. Yep. These guys are catching up here. I'm getting stuff. Nicolas Maduro and wife on their way to New York on a boat. Oh yeah, that's probably one of our ships. I sent you a new update from. Why would you send me an update from Wendy Bell? I like Wendy Bell. Oh, that's a pet thing that they put on at noon. Yes, they always put that on. What do we got? No, Facebook, not Wimpkin. Oh, I did my first story with Stubby and told a bit about my background. They already deleted it from my reels where live videos are stored. Hope they're backing things up on Rumble. Why are they deleting them on Facebook? It usually gives me, I think it's a month or something before they start deleting them. William, I don't understand that because every day now I'm getting another one. Like, I think it was, let me see. Let me find it because it tells me every day. Yeah, like today they will delete my December 5th video. That's on Facebook, William. So they're like a month behind. They delete from a month, and every day they delete another one. So I'm on 5 days a week. They delete one every other day. So I'm talking to Gregory right now. All right. So we're still waiting here, guys. Yep. What did I do? We do this. Yeah, we're gonna twiddle our thumbs. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna twiddle our thumbs and waiting because like people don't have things to do, right, guys? We have things to do, and I'm probably annoying my wife upstairs now when being on here. But that's why I can't get too loud like I do on my show because when I do my show, she's back in the bedroom, and I'm down here, and we go off. We have a blast on the show, guys. Oh yeah, it gets testy. I'm afraid of who they might install in next Venezuela. Yeah, well, that opposition leader Maria, what did I say her name was, guys? Maria Maduro or I can't remember her name. They didn't have it up there right now. They don't have her. That opposition leader, she seems okay. They've been taking care of her here and got her out of Venezuela because the Maduro regime was trying to go after her. So maybe her. I don't know anything about her. I really don't. So um, let's see. And we'll see what's going on. But Nothing yet. Did I freeze up over there on? Oh, nope. It showed me typing on my phone. I was talking to Gregory, our truck driver extraordinaire over there. I got a lot of stuff on my phone right now. Maduro addressed Venezuela state. See what they have to say here. Let's see. Where'd it go? Didn't come up. Something about Maduro gave a state TV address as U.S. strikes Venezuela began. Oh, yeah. Did he say, oh, shit, I'm in trouble? I think that's what he said. I don't really care what he said. The people of Venezuela needed help. The American people needed this drugs to stop pouring into our country. And this is where you start. Now you work on Colombia, Mexico, all the other ones, Cuba, everyone. Stop the invasion of our country. Stop the killing of our American people. Even though they're druggies, they deserve to live too. And getting rid of the drugs will help that. Exactly, Fix. Hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait. This is what happens when we're trying to wait for good news to come out. What the hell is that? Oh, this is Trump's. Ah, look at that. USS Iwo Jima. There you go. There's a good picture of him right there, guys. You see that? That's Maduro and the ship that the. Yeah, I was thinking, wait, he's gonna be on like a luxury cruise, like Carnival or any of those things like that. But no, there's some serious stuff going on right there. What the hell, Lending Tree come up for? But I've been off for a while, guys. I've been off since New Year's, like the day or like Tuesday, and I've been collecting things since I've been off. For Monday, we got a lot of stuff to go over, guys. There will probably not be no fun videos on Monday because that's the new weekend wrap up. Not the new, but the new audio or new thumbnail for it. Yes, but we're going to be going over a lot of stuff between this and the corruption in Minnesota and Ohio and probably in California and New York and all the stuff, all this corruption that's going on, all the money laundering operations that are going on, all the terrorists that are here threatening us. That's all going on. That's all the stuff that we're going to be going over on Monday's weekend wrap up. See, I gave it away. So make sure you guys tune in Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, guys. Whatever it is, wherever you guys are from, make sure you get the time down and join us. We have a blast. Join us in chat. Guys, we want your opinions on everything that I go over every time we turn around. There it is, Maria Corina Machado. And I think she will be the one going on, and William Lockett just gave it to me as the one they believe is going to be returning to assume the role as president. The legitimate people in power, and the people love her. I've watched certain things about that she's out when she was talking to the people of Venezuela. They love her. They seem to love her at all, guys. Here, you guys can look at this. There you go. There's her name right there from William Lockett herself. Killer Carl. What's up, Killer Carl? Welcome, man. There's her name right there. You guys just look up that name, and you can watch some of the videos where the people just love her to death. And she is a people's person. She's down there right there with them and didn't have bodyguards or nothing like that. She was riding in the back of a pickup truck talking to the people. That's who you need in power. That's who you need in government. Trump is pretty much like that, but with all these countries knowing that Trump is a powerful man and speaks what he feels and what he's going to do. He doesn't back down and just mix words like Biden, and he can't even remember his name. But he was a joke. Biden was a joke on the world stage. We were a laughing stock of a country on the world stage. The Democrats proved it too. They made us a laughing stock. Now we are not so much of a laughing stock, right, guys? It's going to be great. But, guys, we're going to hopefully hear from Trump here real shortly. We were supposed to hear from him. What are we at now? 11:33. We are 33 minutes past what we were supposed to hear him from. Okay. I told my wife I wouldn't be talking much. And she's probably going, "You lying son of a bitch." She probably up there cussing the hell out of me. And I was surprised I heard something banging on my ceiling right here. So, and if we would, she won't hear this because I have my earpiece in, so she can't hear the sound of what I play on my computer. So she can only hear my big mouth, and that's what we're going to wait for to see what's happening here. What else we got? Let's see. Let me move this. Trump is like 45 minutes late for everything. I think so, William. Isn't that right? So everybody's sitting there. The fake news is even getting looking at their watches. Look at that. It's like, hey, where's he at? I'm tired of standing here. Well, if you weren't fake news, I know that guy right there in the corner. He's fake news. I can't see the faces of everybody else. But I'd just like to be in Mar-a-Lago just for the warmth. And there's probably no way to get that close to Mar-a-Lago for being just a small podcast like mine. But I'm trying to work on it, guys, so I can start going to places. I do want to get to the Capitol and see if I can get in there and ask people questions. But I don't know what it takes to do that or anything like that, so I have to see what happens. I think like 9 out of 10 of his rallies he was late for 2. I can believe that, William. I was at the Butler one, the second Butler one, and I think they had all other people on there talking before him too, so I really didn't pay attention. But I didn't start streaming until he got on there. But we had a lot going on there. After the second time he returned to Butler, it was a packed place, guys. Tell you what, if you've never experienced a rally like that, that's something way to go. Well, he will probably never do another rally like that again unless it's for that's Colombia right there. Look at that. They got shit blocked off right there at the border. Yeah, look at that. But yeah, that was an experience you'll never get, guys. And that was an awesome experience. Place was packed to the hills. I had to swerve down through people to get to the closest I could to the stage and stream. It was a fun time, let me tell you what. Look, they're going to be on high alert in Colombia because that's the drug capital of the world right there. Oh yeah. So we'll see what happens. It's all right. He's a busy guy. Man deserves not exactly. That's for sure there, William. He is definitely a busy guy. And these people, Democrats, I don't know if you saw it. I am going to bring it up Monday. But that dumb Hakeem Jeffries, I got a little phlegm in my throat. Hakeem Jeffries is demanding an investigation into Trump's health. Are you serious? For 4 years, we watched a brain-dead idiot like Joe Biden couldn't stand upright for 5 seconds. But he was the picture perfect of health. He can run laps around Trump. Are you kidding me? Trump is at every meeting. He is on the air constantly. He's in a meeting every freaking day of the week, every minute of the day. Biden had nothing on him, but no, he's fine. His dementia. Don't look at that. Look over here. Don't worry about his dementia. We've got stuff going on over here to take it away from you. Oh, yeah. Now they're demanding investigations into Trump's perfect health. Oh, yes. It's not a lie, guys. I'm telling you what. This is what you get every time with stupid Democrats. And Trump is proven himself time and time again that he is still able and capable of holding this office and doing the job. Joe Biden from day one couldn't do it. Before day one, just during the what the hell you know what I'm talking about. You always get I get brain farts when they were doing their on TV. What the hell is it called, William? Jeffries is a joke. After that 24-hour filibuster, his own party even knows it. Wish the media would catch up and just stop talking to the guy. I know, William, right? The debate. Sorry, guys. During the debate, Biden should have never been on there. But with the help of China and making up those fake ballots, 81 million people did not vote for this moron. No way in hell. But with the help of China and making up those fake ballots, which they've got facts, proof on, but with this weak-ass Republican Party that we've got in there in this administration, nothing gets done about it. But we can take out a regime, but we can't take out the corrupt Democrats that are in here. Not only Democrats, we got some Republicans too, trust me. Yes, picture, he passed another cognitive test yesterday. Guys, But this is a typical Democrat playbook response from Hakeem Jeffries and the Democrats. Oh, God, I want to investigate his health. Well, guess what? For one, he doesn't have to give up any of his medical information. HIPAA takes care of that, but he did it on his own anyways, and he released it. But this is what the Democrats do. Every time you turn around, they want to take their eyes off the Democrat Party. Here we go, guys. Let's get moving here.
Okay, thank you very much. This is big stuff. We appreciate you being here. Late last night and early today, at my direction, the United States Armed Forces conducted an extraordinary military operation in the capital of Venezuela. Overwhelming American military power, air, land, and sea, was used to launch a spectacular assault. And it was an assault like people have not seen since World War II. It was a force against a heavily fortified military fortress in the heart of Caracas to bring outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro to justice. This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history. And if you think about it, we've done some other good ones, like the attack on Soleimani, the attack on al-Baghdadi, and the obliteration and decimation of the Iran nuclear sites just recently in an operation known as Midnight Hammer. All perfectly executed and done. No nation in the world could achieve what America achieved yesterday, or frankly, in just a short period of time. All Venezuelan military capacities were rendered powerless as the men and women of our military, working with U.S. law enforcement, successfully captured Maduro in the dead of night. It was dark. The lights of Caracas were largely turned off due to a certain expertise that we have. It was dark and it was deadly. But captured along with his wife, Celia Flores, both of whom now face American justice. Maduro and Flores have been indicted in the Southern District of New York, it's Jay Clayton, for their campaign of deadly narco-terrorism against the United States and its citizens. I want to thank the men and women of our military who achieved such an extraordinary success overnight with breathtaking speed, power, precision, and competence. You rarely see anything like it. You've seen some raids in this country that didn't go so well. They were an embarrassment. If you look back to Afghanistan, or if you look back to the Jimmy Carter days, they were different days. We're a respected country again, maybe like never before. These highly trained warriors, operating in collaboration with U.S. law enforcement, caught them in a very ready position. They were waiting for us. They knew we had many ships out in the sea, we're just sort of waiting. They knew women of our military, so they were in what's called a ready position. But they were completely overwhelmed and very quickly incapacitated. If you would have seen what I saw last night, you would have been very impressed. I'm not sure that you'll ever get to see it, but it was an incredible thing to see. Not a single American service member was killed, and not a single piece of American equipment was lost. We had many helicopters, many planes, many people involved in that fight. But think of that, not one piece of military equipment was lost, not one service member was, more importantly, killed. The United States military is the strongest, and most fearsome military on the planet by far, with capabilities and skills our enemies can scarcely begin to imagine. We have the best equipment anywhere in the world. There's no equipment like what we have. And you see that even if you just look at the boats. You know, we've knocked out 97% of the drugs coming in by sea. 90%. Each boat kills 25 on average.
UniConverter provides a lot more. Turn this cute cat into a meme. Transfer your favorite.
We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious because that's what we're all about. We want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela. And that includes many from Venezuela that are now living in the United States and want to go back to their country. It's their homeland. We can't take a chance that somebody else takes over Venezuela that doesn't have the good of the Venezuelan people in mind. We've had decades of that. We're not going to let that happen. We're there now, and what people don't understand, but they understand as I say this, we're there now, but we're going to stay until such time as the proper transition can take place. So we're going to stay until such time as we're going to run it, essentially, until such time as a proper transition can take place. As everyone knows, the oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust, for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping and what could have taken place. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country. And we are ready to stage a second and much larger attack if we need to do so. So we were prepared to do a second wave if we needed to do so. We actually assumed that a second wave would be necessary, but now it's probably not. The first wave, if you'd like to call it that, the first attack was so successful, we probably don't have to do a second, but we're prepared to do a second wave, a much bigger wave, actually. This was pinpoint, but we have a much bigger wave that probably won't have to do. This partnership of Venezuela with the United States of America, a country that everybody wants to be involved with because of what we were able to do and accomplish, will make the people of Venezuela rich, independent, and safe. And it will also make the many, many people from Venezuela that are living in the United States extremely happy. They suffered. They suffered. So much was taken from them. They're not going to suffer anymore. The illegitimate dictator Maduro was the kingpin of a vast criminal network responsible for trafficking colossal amounts of deadly and illicit drugs into the United States. As alleged in the indictment, he personally oversaw the vicious cartel known as Cartel de las Solas, which flooded our nation with lethal poison, responsible for the deaths of countless Americans, the many, many Americans. Hundreds of thousands over the years of Americans died because of him. Maduro and his wife will soon face the full might of American justice and stand trial on American soil. Right now, they're on a ship. They'll be heading to, ultimately, New York. And then a decision will be made, I assume, between New York and Miami or Florida. But we have people where the overwhelming evidence of their crimes will be presented in a court of law. And I've seen it. I've seen what we have. It's It's both horrible and breathtaking that something like this could have been allowed to take place. For many years after his term as president of Venezuela expired, Maduro remained in power and waged a ceaseless campaign of violence, terror, and subversion against the United States of America, threatening not only our people, but the stability of the entire region. And you all saw it. In addition to trafficking gigantic amounts of illegal drugs that inflicted untold suffering and human destruction all over the country, all over, in particular, the United States, Maduro sent savage and murderous gangs, including the bloodthirsty prison gang, Tren de Aragua, to terrorize American communities nationwide. And he did indeed. They were in Colorado. They took over apartment complexes. They cut the fingers off people if they called police. They were brutal, but they're not so brutal now. And I just have to congratulate our military, Pete and everybody, and our National Guard, because the job that they've done, whether it's in Washington, D.C., where we have a totally safe city, where it was one of the most unsafe cities anywhere in the world, frankly, and now we have no crime in Washington, D.C. We haven't had a killing. We had the terrorist attack a few weeks ago, a little bit of a different kind of a threat, but we haven't had a killing in a long period of time, 6-7 months. We used to have two, on average, 2 a week in Washington, our capital. We don't have that anymore. The restaurants are opening. Everyone's happy. They're going, they're walking their daughters. They're walking their children, their wives. They walk to restaurants. Restaurants are opening all over Washington, D.C. So I want to thank the National Guard. I want to thank our military. And I want to thank law enforcement. Been amazing. And they should do it with more cities. We're doing it, as you know, and we're doing it in Memphis, Tennessee right now, and crime is down. We've just sort of started a few weeks ago, but crime is down now 77%. And the governor of Louisiana called, great person, and he wanted us to help him, as you know, in a certain very nice part of Louisiana. And we have done that. And it was a rough section, and we have crime down. I understand it's down to almost nothing already after 2.5 weeks. New Orleans, it's down to almost nothing. And we've only been there for 2.5 weeks. Can't imagine why governors wouldn't want us to help. We also helped, as you know, in Chicago, and crime went down a little bit there. We did a very small help because we had no working ability with the governor. The governor was a disaster and the mayor was a disaster, but it knocked down crime. But we're pulling out of there. When they need us, we'll know. You'll know. You'll be writing about it. And likewise, Los Angeles, where we saved Los Angeles early on, where the head of the police department made a statement that if the federal government didn't come in, we would have lost Los Angeles. That's long after the fires. That's when they had the riots in Los Angeles. We did a great job. Got no credit for it whatsoever, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. We don't need the credit. But we'll be pulling out when they need us. They'll call, or we'll go back if we have to. We'll go back. But we did a great job in various cities. But the place that we're very proud of is Washington, D.C., because it's our nation's capital. We took it from being a crime-ridden mess to being one of the safest cities in the country. But the gangs that they sent raped, tortured, and murdered American women and children. They were in all of the cities I mentioned, Tren de Aragua. And they were sent by Maduro to terrorize our people. And now Maduro will never again be able to threaten an American citizen or anybody from Venezuela. There will no longer be threats. For years, I've highlighted the stories of those innocent Americans whose lives were so heartlessly robbed by this Venezuelan terrorist organization. Really one of the worst. One of the worst. They say the worst. Americans like 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungari from Houston. Beautiful Jocelyn Nungari. What happened to her? They, as you know, they kidnapped, assaulted, and murdered by Tren de Aragua animals. They murdered Jocelyn. And left her dead under the bridge. There was a bridge that will never be the same to so many people after seeing what happened. As I've said many times, the Maduro regime emptied out their prisons, sent their worst and most violent monsters into the United States to steal American lives. And they came from mental institutions and insane asylums. They came from prisons and jails. The reason I say both, they sound similar. Actually, prisons, a little bit more hostile, a little bit tougher. A mental institution isn't as tough as an insane asylum, but we got them both. They sent from their mental institutions. They sent from their jails, prisons. They were drug dealers. They were drug kingpins. They sent everybody bad into the United States, but no longer. And we have now a border where nobody gets through. In addition, Venezuela unilaterally seized and stole American oil, American assets, and American platforms, costing us billions and billions of dollars. They did this a while ago, but we never had a president that did anything about it. They took all of our property. It was our property. We built it. And we never had a president that decided to do anything about it. Instead, they fought wars that were 10,000 miles away. We built Venezuela oil industry with American talent, drive, and skill. And the socialist regime stole it from us during those previous administrations, and they stole it through force. This constituted one of the largest thefts of American property in the history of our country. Considered the largest theft of property in the history of our country. Massive oil infrastructure was taken like we were babies, and we didn't do anything about it. I would have done something about it. America will never allow foreign powers to rob our people or drive us back into and out of our own hemisphere. That's what they did. Furthermore, under the now deposed dictator Maduro, Venezuela was increasingly hosting foreign adversaries in our region and acquiring menacing offensive weapons that could threaten U.S. interests and lives. And they used those weapons last night. Potentially in league with the cartels operating along our border. All of these actions were in gross violation of the core principles of American foreign policy, dating back more than 2 centuries. And not anymore. All the way back, it dated to the Monroe Doctrines. And the Monroe Doctrine is a big deal, but we've superseded it by a lot, by a real lot. They now call it the Monroe Document. I don't know. It's Monroe Doctrine. We sort of forgot about it. It was very important, but we forgot about it. We don't forget about it anymore. Under our new national security strategy, American dominance in the Western Hemisphere will never be questioned again. Won't happen. So just in concluding, for decades, other administrations have neglected or even contributed to these growing security threats in the Western Hemisphere. Under the Trump administration, we are reasserting American power in a very powerful way in our home region. And our home region is very different than it was just a short while ago. The future will be, and we did this in my first term. We had great dominance in my first term, and we have far greater dominance right now. Everyone's coming back to us. The future will be determined by the ability to protect commerce and territory and resources that are core to national security. These are core to our national security. Just like tariffs they've made our country rich, and they've made our national security stronger than ever before. But these are the iron laws that have always determined global power. And we're going to keep it that way. We will secure our borders. We will stop the terrorists. We will crash the cartels, and we will defend our citizens against all threats, foreign and domestic. Other presidents may have lacked the courage or whatever to defend America, but I will never allow terrorists and criminals to operate with impunity against the United States. This extremely successful operation should serve as warning to anyone who would threaten American sovereignty or endanger American lives. Very importantly, the embargo on all Venezuelan oil remains in full effect. The American Armada remains poised in position, and the United States retains all military options until United States demands have been fully met and fully satisfied. All political and military figures in Venezuela should understand what happened to Maduro can happen to them, and it will happen to them if they aren't just, fair, even to their people. The dictator and terrorist Maduro is finally gone, and Venezuela people are free. They're free again. It's been a long time for them, but they're free. America is a safer nation. This morning, it's a prouder nation this morning because it didn't allow this horrible person and this country that was doing very bad things to us. It didn't allow it to happen. And the Western Hemisphere is right now a much safer place to be. So I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank General Raisin Kane. He's a fantastic man. I've worked with a lot of generals. I worked with some I didn't like. I worked with some I didn't respect. I worked with some that just weren't good. But this guy is fantastic. I watched last night one of the most precise attacks on sovereignty. I mean, it was an attack for justice. And I'm very proud of him. And I'm very proud of our Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, who I'm going to ask to say a few words. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, can you explain how the U.S. will run Venezuela?
Well, thank you, Mr. President. Finally, a commander-in-chief the world respects and the American people deserve. And as the president said, words can barely capture the bravery and the power and the precision of this historic operation, a massive joint military and law enforcement raid flawlessly executed by the greatest Americans our country has to offer. American warriors are second to none, the best in the world and the best of our country. What all of us witnessed last night was sheer guts and grit, gallantry, and glory of the American warrior. I'm simply humbled by such men. And I tip my hat to our chairman, Dan Raisin Kane, and all those Americans who stood watch last night. Our warriors are the elite of America. And again, President Trump has your back. No other country on planet Earth, and it's not even close, could pull this kind of operation off. And no other president has ever shown this kind of leadership, courage, and resolve, the most powerful combination the world has ever seen. As the president said, our adversaries remain on notice. America can project our will anywhere, anytime. The coordination, the stealth, the lethality, the precision, the very long arm of American justice, all on full display in the middle of the night. Nicolas Maduro had his chance, just like Iran had their chance, until they didn't and until he didn't. He effed around and he found out. President Trump is deadly serious about stopping the flow of gangs and violence to our country. Deadly serious about stopping the flow of drugs and poison to our people. Deadly serious about getting back the oil that was stolen from us. And deadly serious about reestablishing American deterrence and dominance in the Western Hemisphere. This is about the safety, security, freedom, and prosperity of the American people. This is America first. This is peace through strength. And the United States War Department is proud to help deliver it. Welcome to 2026. And under President Trump, America is back. I'd like to welcome now our chairman, Chairman Raisin Kane, to give a few more details about the operation, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Thank you, Mr. President, and good morning. Last night, on the order of the President of the United States and in support of a request from the Department of Justice, as the President said, the United States military conducted an apprehension mission in Caracas, Venezuela, to bring to justice two indicted persons, Nicolas and Cecilia Maduro. This operation, known as Operation Absolute Resolve, was discreet, precise, and conducted during the darkest hours of January 2nd, and was the culmination of months of planning and rehearsal, an operation that, frankly, only the United States military could undertake. What I'd like to do this morning is talk to you through some of the preparation and the details without compromising any of our tactics, techniques, and procedures. There is always a chance that we'll be tasked to do this type of mission again. Our interagency work began months ago and built on decades of experience of integrating complex air, ground, space, and maritime operations. While the past 2 decades have honed the skills of our special operations forces, this particular mission required every component of our joint force, with soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Guardians working in unison with our intelligence agency partners and law enforcement teammates in an unprecedented operation. We leveraged our unmatched intelligence capabilities and our years of experience in hunting terrorists, and we could not have done this mission without the incredible work by various intelligence agencies, including the CIA, NSA, and NGA. We watched, we waited, we prepared, we remained patient and professional. This mission was meticulously planned, drawing lessons from decades of missions over the last many years, many missions over these last many years. This was an audacious operation that only the United States could do. It required the utmost of precision and integration within our joint force. And the word integration does not explain the sheer complexity of such a mission. An extraction so precise, it involved more than 150 aircraft launching across the Western Hemisphere in close coordination, all coming together in time and place to layer effects for a single purpose: to get an interdiction force into downtown Caracas while maintaining the element of tactical surprise. Failure of one component of this well-oiled machine would have endangered the entire mission, and failure is never an option for America's joint force. Those in the air over Caracas last night were willing to give their lives for those on the ground and in the helicopters. Let me talk a little bit about the preparation. After months of work by our intelligence teammates to find Maduro and understand how he moved, where he lived, where he traveled, what he ate, what he wore, what were his pets. In early December, our force was set pending a series of aligned events. Key was choosing the right day to minimize the potential for civilian harm and maximize the element of surprise and minimize the harm to the indicted personnel, so as the president said, they could be brought to justice. And as the president said earlier today, weather in Venezuela is always a factor this time of the year. And over the weeks through Christmas and New Year's, the men and women of the United States military sat ready, patiently waiting for the right triggers to be met and the president to order us into action. Last night, the weather broke just enough, clearing a path that only the most skilled aviators in the world could maneuver through: ocean, mountain, low cloud ceilings. But when tasked with a mission, this organization does not quit. At 10:46 p.m. Eastern time last night, the president ordered the United States military to move forward with this mission. He said to us, and we appreciate it, Mr. President, good luck and Godspeed. And those words were transmitted to the entire joint force. Over the course of the night, aircraft began launching from 20 different bases on land and sea across the Western Hemisphere. In total, more than 150 aircraft, bombers, fighters, intelligence, reconnaissance, surveillance, rotary wing were in the air last night. Thousands and
Who's ready for a pregame snack?
And our oldest crew member was 49. And there's simply no match for American military might. As the night began, the helicopters took off with the extraction force, which included law enforcement officers, and began their flight into Venezuela at 100 feet above the water. As they approached Venezuelan shores, the United States began layering different effects provided by Spacecom, Cybercom, and other members of the interagency to create a pathway. Overhead, those forces were protected by aircraft from the United States Marines, the United States Navy, the United States Air Force, and the Air National Guard. The force included F-22s, F-35s, F-18s, EA-18s, E-2s, B-1 bombers, and other support aircraft, as well as numerous remotely piloted drones. As the force began to approach Caracas, the Joint Air Component began dismantling and disabling the air defense systems in Venezuela, employing weapons to ensure the safe passage of the helicopters into the target area. The goal of our air component was, and always will be to protect the helicopters and the ground force and get them to the target and get them home. As the force crossed the last point of high terrain where they'd been hiding in the clutter, we assessed that we had maintained totally the element of surprise. As the helicopter force ingressed towards the objective at low level, we arrived at Maduro's compound at 1:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 2:01 a.m. Caracas local time, and the apprehension force descended into Maduro's compound and moved with speed, precision, and discipline towards their objective, and isolated the area to ensure the safety and security of the ground force while apprehending the indicted persons. On arrival into the target area, the helicopters came under fire, and they replied with that fire with overwhelming force in self-defense. One of our aircraft was hit, but remained flyable, and as the president said earlier today, all of our aircraft came home, and that aircraft remained flyable during the rest of the mission. As the operation unfolded at the compound, our air and ground intelligence teams provided real-time updates to the ground force, ensuring those forces could safely navigate the complex environment without unnecessary risk. The force remained protected by overhead tactical aviation. Maduro and his wife, both indicted, gave up and were taken into custody by the Department of Justice, assisted by our incredible U.S. military with professionalism and precision, with no loss of U.S. life. After securing the indicted persons, the force began to prep for departure. Helicopters were called in to exfiltrate the extraction force, while fighter aircraft and remotely piloted aircraft provided overhead coverage and suppressive fire. There were multiple self-defense engagements as the force began to withdraw out of Venezuela. The force successfully exfiltrated and returned to their afloat launch bases, and the force was over the water at 3:29 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with indicted persons on board. And both Maduro and his wife were embarked aboard the USS Iwo Jima. In closing, what we've witnessed today is a powerful demonstration of America's joint force. We think, we develop, we train, we rehearse, we debrief, we rehearse again and again, not to get it right, but to ensure that we cannot get it wrong. Our jobs are to integrate combat power so when the order comes, we can deliver overwhelming force at the time and the place of our choosing against any foe anywhere in the world. I am immensely proud today of our joint force and filled with gratitude to represent them here today. There is simply no mission too difficult for these incredible professionals and the families that stand by them and support them. As we stand here this morning, our forces remain in the region at a high state of readiness, prepared to project power, defend themselves, and our interests in the region. This operation is a testament to the dedication and unwavering commitment to justice and our resolve to hold accountable those who threaten peace and stability. In closing, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to the brave men and women who executed this mission. Their courage and tireless commitment to our nation are what makes us strong. Thank you, Mr. Secretary, and thank you, Mr. President.
Well, I don't have much to add to what you've heard now, other than the following points. Nicolas Maduro was indicted in 2020 in the United States. He is not the legitimate president of Venezuela. That's not just us saying it. The first Trump administration, the Biden administration, the second Trump administration, none of those three recognized him. He's not recognized by the European Union and multiple countries around the world. He is a fugitive of American justice with a $50 million reward, which I guess we saved $50 million. And
make sure.
Yeah, exactly. But
don't let anybody claim it. Nobody deserves it but us.
But I want to be clear about one thing. Nicolas Maduro had multiple opportunities to avoid this. He was provided multiple very, very, very generous offers and chose instead to act like a wild man, chose instead to play around. And the result is what we saw tonight. The other message here is the following. You have a guy, like many people around the world, they like to play games. You have a guy who decides he's going to invite Iran into his country, is going to, do the confiscation of American oil companies, is going to flood our country with gang members, is going to take Americans prisoner and try to hold them for hostage and trade them like he was able to do with the Biden administration. Basically likes to play games all this time and thinks nothing's going to happen. And I hope what people now understand is that we have a president. The 47th president of the United States is not a game player. When he tells you that he's going to do something, when tells you he's going to address a problem, he means it. He actions it. I can tell you, I've watched this process now for 14, 15 years, been around it. Everybody talks. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. When I get there, we're going to do this. We're going to take. This is a president of action. Like, I don't understand yet how they haven't figured this out. And now, if you don't know, now you know. Because this is the way it's going to play out. And I think people need to understand that this is not a president that just talks and does letters and press conferences and, if he says he's serious about something, he means it. And this is something that was a direct threat to the national interest of the United States, and the president addressed it. There's a president of peace, by the way. I told you what I just said earlier. This guy had multiple opportunities to find his way somewhere else and figure out another. He could have been living somewhere else right now, very happy, but instead he wanted to play big boy. And so now, he's got other sets of problems on his hands. And but I think the message here should be for the world. Look, the president doesn't go out looking for people to pick fights with. He's not generally wants to get along with everybody. We'll talk and meet with anybody, but don't play games. Don't play games with this president's in office, because it's not going to turn out well. And so I hope that, I guess that lesson was learned last night, and we hope it'll be instructive moving forward.
Is that a message for Cuba? Mr. President.
Mr. President.
Mr. President. Mr. President. Running the country. Mr. President. Mr. President.
You said that the U.S. is going to run Venezuela. So who's in power right now?
Well, we're going to be running it with a group, and we're going to make sure it's run properly. We're going to rebuild the oil infrastructure, which will cost billions of dollars. It'll be paid for by the oil companies directly. They will be reimbursed for what they're doing, but that's going to be paid. And we're going to get the oil flowing the way it should be. As you know, it was just a minor flow. It was actually a minor flow for what they have. But we're going to run it properly, and we're going to make sure the people of Venezuela are taken care of. We're going to make sure the people that were forced out of Venezuela by this thug are also taken care of.
Mr.
President, does the U.S. running the country mean that U.S. troops will be on the ground? How will that work?
Well, they always say boots on the ground. Oh, so we're not afraid of boots on the ground if we have to have. We had boots on the ground last night at a very high level, actually. We're not afraid of it. We don't mind saying it, but we're going to make sure that that country is run properly. We're not doing this in vain. This is a very dangerous attack. This is an attack that could have gone very, very badly. Could have gone very badly. We could have lost a lot of people last night. We could have lost a lot of dignity. We could have lost a lot of equipment. The equipment is less important, but we could have lost a lot. And we're going to make sure that this is proper. We're there now. We're ready to go again if we have to. We're going to run the country right. It's going to be run very judiciously, very fairly. It's going to make a lot of money. We're going to give money to the people. We're going to reimburse people that were taken advantage of. We're going to take care of everybody. It's very important. We couldn't let them get away with it. They stole our oil. We built that whole industry there. And they just took it over like we were nothing. And we had a president that decided not to do anything about it. So we did something about it. We're late, but we did something about it. Yeah, please.
Can you explain the exact mechanism by which you're going to run the country? Are you going to designate a U.S. official to coordinate?
Yes, it's all being done right now. We're designating people. We're talking to people. We're designating various people, and we're going to let you know who those people are.
That would run Venezuela.
Well, it's largely going to be for a period of time. The people that are standing right behind me, we're going to be running it. We're going to be bringing it back. It's a dead. I talk about a dead country. A year and a half ago, we were a dead country. Now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. We're a country doing better than any country anywhere in the world. And it required leadership. Venezuela has a lot of bad people in there, a lot of bad people that shouldn't be leading. We're not going to take a chance that one of those people take over for Maduro. So you can look at, and others, we have fantastic people, including people in the military. So we're going to have a group of people running it until such time as it can be put back on track, make a lot of money for the people, and give people a great way of life, and also reimbursement for people in our country that were forced out of Venezuela.
Rubio would be.
You said earlier today that you weren't going to back Machado to come back and be the opposition leader in your Fox and Friends interview. And then you also mentioned the vice president of Venezuela. Are you going to work with the vice president of Venezuela, or how do you foresee the relationship going?
I understand she was just sworn in, but she was, as you know, picked by Maduro. So Marco's working on that directly. He's just had a conversation with her, and she's essentially willing to do what we think is necessary to make Venezuela great again. Very simple.
Mr. President, Colombian President Gustavo Petro, a couple weeks ago, he said he's got to watch his ass. And today he said he's not concerned about anything happening to him in the aftermath of this operation. So just what your message is about that.
Well, he has cocaine mills. He has factories where he makes cocaine. And yeah, I think I stick by my first statement. He's making cocaine. They're sending it into the United States. So he does have to watch his ass.
Mr.
President, did you notify any members of Congress in advance?
Marco, do you want to talk about that? Because you were involved.
Sure. We call members of Congress immediately after. This was not the kind of mission that you can do congressional notification on. It was a trigger-based mission in which conditions had to be met night after night. We watched and monitored that for a number of days. So it's just simply not the kind of mission you can call people and say, hey, we may do this at some point in the next 15 days. But it's largely a law enforcement function. Remember, at the end of the day, at its core, this was an arrest of 2 indicted fugitives of American justice, and the Department of War supported the Department of Justice in that job. Now, there are broader policy implications here, but it's just not the kind of mission that you can pre-notify because it endangers the mission.
Plus, if I could add one thing to that, Congress has a tendency to leak. This would not be good. If they leaked, General, I think it would have been maybe a very different result. But I have to say, they knew we were coming at some point, We had a lot of ships out there. They sort of knew we were coming. We went through. But Congress will leak, and we don't want leakers.
Mr. President, you were one of the only people to watch this all play out live. What was Maduro doing when the U.S. forces entered what I assume would be his home? And also, was there any point where the U.S. was considering if Maduro pushed back or resisted killing Maduro?
It could have happened. It could have happened. He was trying to get into a safe place. The safe place is all steel. And he wasn't able to make it to the door because our guys were so fast. They went through the opposition so fast. And there was a lot of opposition. People were wondering, do we get them by surprise? Sort of surprised, but they were waiting for something. It was a lot of opposition. There was a lot of gunfire. You saw some of it today. But he was trying to get to a safe place, which wasn't safe because we would have had the door blown up in about 47 seconds, they say on average, regardless of how thick the steel was. It was a very thick door. It was a very heavy door, but he was unable to get to that door. He made it to the door. He was unable to close it. Go ahead, finish.
Where is Maduro going to be in the time being right now? Do you know his exact whereabouts?
Well, eventually, ultimately, in the near future, he's going to be brought to New York.
And where is he going to be held? Where is he going to be held in New York? Do you know?
That's going to be up to the officials that do these things.
Mr. President, the U.S. has something of a mixed track record of ousting dictators without necessarily a plan for what comes afterwards. Did that weigh on your decision?
Well, that's when we had different presidents, but with me, that's not true. With me, we've had a perfect track record of winning we win a lot. And we win, if you look at Soleimani, you look at al-Baghdadi, you look at the Midnight Hammer. Midnight Hammer was incredible. Right now, you wouldn't have peace in the Middle East. We have essentially peace in the Middle East because of that. If we weren't successful with Midnight Hammer, you wouldn't have peace in the Middle East. So with me, you've had a lot of victory. You've had only victories. You've had no losses. Yeah.
President, can you? How long do you expect the U.S. to run Venezuela, and how soon do you want the Venezuelan people to hold elections?
So I'd like to do it quickly, but it takes a period of time. You know, we're rebuilding. We have to rebuild their whole infrastructure. The infrastructure is rotted. It's actually very dangerous. It's blow up territory. Oil is very dangerous. It's a very dangerous thing to take out of the ground. Can kill a lot of people. It has killed a lot of people doing just that. The infrastructure is old. It's rotted. Much of it is stuff that we put there 25 years ago, and we're going to be replacing it. And we're going to take a lot of money out so that we can take care of the country. Yeah.
Are you saying that Secretary Rubio and
Mr. President, China, Russia, and Iran have interests in Venezuela. How does this operation affect your relationships with them when it comes to the oil and drugs?
And Russia, Russia when we get things straightened out. But in terms of other countries that want oil, we're in the oil business. We're going to sell it to them. We're not going to say we're not going to give it to them. In other words, we'll be selling oil probably in much larger doses because they couldn't produce very much because their infrastructure was so bad. So we'll be selling large amounts of oil to other countries, many of whom are using it now, but I would say many more will come.
Are you saying, Mr. President, are you saying that, Mr. President, are you saying that? Oh,
Mr. President, thank you. What is your message to the people of Venezuela today? Of course, the civilian population specifically, they have a lot of questions. What is your message to the people of Venezuela?
That you're going to have peace, justice. You're going to have some of the riches that you should have had for a long period of time. It was stolen from you. But you're going to have peace and you're going to have safety. You're going to have justice. You're going to have a country. You're going to have a real country. You're going to have potentially a great country. You know, if you go back 20 years, maybe even a little longer ago, that was a great country. And they destroyed it. Remember, I said that if we lose this election, the United States will be Venezuela on steroids. That's what would have happened. Had we lost the election, the 2024 election, we suffered so badly. When you look at the border from 2020, what they did, what Joe Biden administration did to our country should never be forgotten. But if we had to go through another year of that, we would be exactly where Venezuela was in terms. I used to say, if they win, we're going to be Venezuela on steroids. And that's what would have happened.
President, thank you. Are you saying that Secretary Hegseth and Rubio are going to be running Venezuela? And will you be sending in U.S. military troops to provide?
Team that's working with the people of Venezuela to make sure that we have Venezuela right. Because for us to just leave, who's going to take over? I mean, there is nobody to take over. You have a vice president who's been appointed by Maduro. And right now she's the vice president and she's, I guess, the president. She was sworn as president just a little while ago. She had a long conversation with Marco and she said, we'll do whatever you need. I think she was quite gracious, but she really doesn't have a choice. We're going to have this done right. We're not going to just do this with Maduro, then leave like everybody else, leave and say, let it go to hell. If we just left, it has zero chance of ever coming back. We'll run it properly. We'll run it professionally. We'll have the greatest oil companies in the world go in and invest billions and billions of dollars and take out money, use that money in Venezuela. And the biggest beneficiary are going to be the people of Venezuela. And also, I can't stress this strongly enough, the people that got thrown out of Venezuela that are now in the United States. And frankly, some want to stay and some probably want to go back. Yeah.
What have you done to protect Americans in the country, and were any of the detained Americans?
Well, right now they're very protected because nobody's going to mess with us. They're very protected. The people of, and we let them know that you better not touch one of them.
Are you concerned that bad elements of the Maduro regime will remain in place?
Well, we know who they are. We're on them, and they're acting much differently now than they would have acted 2 days ago. Okay, wait, behind you, please.
Mr. President, why is running a country in South America America first?
Well, I think it is because we want to surround ourselves with good neighbors. We want to surround ourselves with stability. We want to surround ourselves with energy. We have tremendous energy in that country. It's very important that we protect it. We need that for ourselves. We need that for the world. And we want to make sure we can protect it. Yes, sir. Please, go ahead.
Yeah, is there a message here for Cuba and Diaz-Canel?
Well, Cuba is an interesting case. Cuba is, not doing very well right now. That system has not been a very good one for Cuba. The people there have suffered for many, many years. And I think Cuba is going to be something we'll end up talking about because Cuba is a failing nation right now, very badly failing nation. And we want to help the people. It's very similar in the sense that we want to help the people in Cuba, but we want to also help the people that were forced out of Cuba and living in this country. Do you want to say something about that, Marco, please?
Well, I mean, I just gave you a statement a few minutes ago about, when the president speaks, you should take him seriously. So suffice it to say, Cuba is a disaster. It's run by incompetent, senile men, and in some cases, not senile, but incompetent nonetheless. It has no economy. It's in total collapse. And by the way, they were, all of the guards that helped protect Maduro, this is well known, their whole spy agency, all that were full of Cubans. I mean, it's amazing. This poor island took over Venezuela in some cases. One of the biggest problems the Venezuelans have is they have to declare independence from Cuba. They tried to basically colonize it from a security standpoint. So, yeah, look, if I lived in Havana and I was in the government, I'd be concerned, at least a little bit.
Putting up the oil flow to Cuba from Venezuela?
Well, the president already announced a week ago that anything that's sanctioned, oil, it's not going to be allowed to get there. So that's a pre-existing.
Mr. President.
The answer is yes. Yes.
Aware of the location of opposition leader Machado, and have you been in contact with her?
No, we haven't. No, we haven't.
Mr. President,
Do you have any hesitations about Machado?
Mr. President, on Monday.
Oh, I think it would be very tough for her to be the leader. She doesn't have the support within or the respect within the country. She's a very nice woman, but she doesn't have the respect.
Mr. President, is it possible that the U.S. ends up administrating Venezuela for years?
Well, it won't cost us anything because the money coming out of the ground is very substantial. So it's not going to cost us anything. We want safety there. We want to be surrounded by countries that aren't housing all of our enemies all over the world. That's what was happening. And you don't want to have that. But we're going to be rebuilding and we're not spending money. The oil companies are going to go in. They're going to spend money. We're going to take back the oil that, frankly, we should have taken back a long time ago. A lot of money is coming out of the ground. We're going to get reimbursed for all of that. We're going to get reimbursed for everything that we spend. So it's going to be a very important. This is a very big evening that took place last night. We have to be surrounded by safe, secure countries. And we also have to have energy. Very important. We have to have energy that's real energy, not where they're getting 4% and 5% of the energy out of the ground. You take a look. It was such a disaster. So what's going to happen with Venezuela, I think, over the next period of a year is going to be a great thing. And the people of Venezuela will be the biggest beneficiaries.
Mr. President.
Going to send in U.S. military.
Mr. President, thank you. What did you last speak to Maduro about when you spoke? And is the
Well,
US
I don't want to
at
get
war
into
with
the
Venezuela?
conversations, but I did have conversations with him. And I said, you got to surrender. And I actually thought he was pretty close to doing so, but now he wished he did. Yeah.
You said that Maduro is responsible for drug trafficking. You recently pardoned the former president of Honduras, who was convicted on many drug trafficking. Can you explain how these two situations are different? Would you ever pardon Maduro?
I endorsed, as you know, the winning president, the man who won in Honduras. I endorsed the man who won in Chile. I endorsed the man who won in Argentina. And we are doing very well.
Monday.com, the opposite of any work platform we tried in the past. We tried other work management platforms, not naming.
To us, he was treated like the Biden administration treated a man named Trump. That didn't work out too well for them. This was a man who was persecuted very unfairly. He was the head of the country. He was persecuted very unfairly. And there are a number of them. And we felt that it was a very unfair situation that happened to him. He's also a party member of the man who won. So obviously the people liked what I did. And one of the reasons that was done is because of the fact that the party in power felt very strongly that that man was treated very badly. I studied it very quickly, and then I studied it in great detail. I went to a lot of the people standing behind me, and they felt that that man was persecuted and treated very badly. That's why I gave him a pardon.
You referenced boots on the ground earlier. Can you just sort of button this up? Do you envision the U.S. military having a presence in Venezuela as the U.S. runs that country?
No, we're going to have a presence in Venezuela as it pertains to oil, because we have to have, we're sending our expertise in. So you may need something, not very much. But no, we're going to be taking out a tremendous amount of wealth out of the ground. And that wealth is going to the people of Venezuela and people from outside of Venezuela that used to be in Venezuela. And it goes also to the United States of America in the form of reimbursement for the damages caused us by that country. So I want to thank you all very much. Thank you. Do you have one? Yes, please. You were so nice before. I'm going to give you the final question. Go
Thank
ahead.
you, Mr.
Unless
President.
it's a bad question, in
It's
which
about
case I'll
Putin.
go one word. It's about who?
It's about Putin, if you want.
About Putin. Well, that's
Okay.
always nice
You had
to
a
talk
phone
about Putin.
You had a phone call with him on Monday. Did he talk at all?
No, we didn't.
And
We
then-
never spoke about Maduro.
Are you mad at him right now? I mean, there's this
I'm not
intelligence.
thrilled with Putin. I'm not thrilled with Putin. He's killing too many people.
There was that
I
intelligence.
thought that would be so. I settled 8 1/4 war. You know what the 1/4 was? Thailand and Cambodia. I did it again. They broke out, and I did it in about 5 hours, and I settled it. I'm giving myself 1/4, so I'm up to now 8 1/4. In other words, I settled the war, but then they broke out. They had a pretty bad breakout over the last 4 days. I got them to go back to peace, so I only give 1/4. I thought the easiest one would be. One of the easier ones would be Russia, Ukraine. It's not. And they both have done some pretty bad things. And look, that's Biden's war. That's not my war. But I want to stop the lives. Did you see where last month, 30,000, it was 27,000 the month before. 30,000, mostly soldiers, were killed this last month. 30,000. I want to stop that. You know, I got NATO to pay 5% instead of the 2% that they weren't paying. They weren't paying 2, now they pay 5. And we send them a lot of munitions. We send them a lot of things, missiles and various other things, a lot. And they pay. The United States is not losing money. We're probably making money on that. It's the last thing I care about. I just want to stop all those people. We're losing 25, 30,000 human beings that come from 2 places that are very far away. But if I can stop, because it's something I've been pretty good at doing, deals, I guess. It's all a deal. Life is a big deal. But if I can stop that war and stop 30,000 young people, in addition to the fact that people are being killed in Kiev, people are being killed in other cities throughout, a much smaller number, but they're being killed, viciously killed. So I'm not happy about it. I thought that would be something that would get solved. We have Mr. Witkoff here. I think that we're making progress, but that's a war that should have never happened. If I were president, it would have never happened. Putin says it. Everybody says it. If I were president, that would have never happened. But I inherited that war. That was Joe Biden, Zelensky, and Putin. I came into the situation, and it's a mess. And I will say this. I watched an operation last night that was so precise, that was so brilliant. I mean, it was incredible. If we had our people, like this general and our people involved, that war would not have gone on very long, that I can tell you. That war, to use an old term, that war has become a bloodbath, and we want it to get stopped. Thank you very much.
Concerned a rogue Venezuelan general can take over the country.
Mike didn't come back on. I'm sorry about that, guys, but there you have it. There's everything that's been going on. We need to start working here at home and get the corrupt Democrats that have been corrupt for these past how many years. We need the Muslim Somali terrorists in Minnesota. They need arrested. We need people held accountable here in this country. We'll be watching everything that we can, and we'll watch the Maduro trial if they televise it and stuff, and we'll see what's going to happen, guys. But don't forget to leave comments and questions and anything you have in chat, or email me at theconservativeviewpoint@yahoo.com. Guys, there's going to be so much going on. I mean, it's crazy to even think about it here. But yes, you guys can, where is it at? I had it in here a second ago. But there's so much, you guys, that you can get to me, your information and everything like that. I don't even know what the hell everything went to. Here it is right here. If you want to email me at conservativeviewpoint@yahoo.com. And let me know your opinions on everything. Don't forget to join me on Monday night, 9 p.m. for the weekend wrap up here on the Conservative Viewpoint. We're going to be going over a lot of stuff, guys. And I want your opinions on everything that we heard tonight and everything that's been going on. The rest of the weekend, we'll be watching that and see what's going on. Don't forget to watch out for Democrats' response. It's already going crazy. Somebody said that they're complaining about the money. Oh, my God. How much money has been laundered by the Democrat Party in the last 4 years under the Biden regime? How much corruption has been going on there? How much corruption in the freaking Somalis in Minnesota has been done? Taxpayer money. I don't want to hear shit coming out of the Democrats' mouths about money. That's for a fact. But I want to thank you guys again for joining me today on this special edition of the Conservative Viewpoint. I got stuff to do. I got to do it. So join me on Monday, 9 p.m. for the weekend wrap up on the Conservative Viewpoint. Thank you for tuning in tonight, guys. And I'll see you guys on Monday. See you later.